Welcome, everybody. We are here with Anthony, also known as Stardamore, also known as Brandy Difference, the owner of Mug Store. Thank you very much, Anthony, for agreeing to do our interview with us today. We're very excited to be here in the Mug Store. And we've got lots of interesting questions for you that I'm sure our audience are going to be wanting to know all the answers to.
That sounds super fun.
Yay! Question time.
I'm actually being held here.
Yeah.
I'm captive right now.
So, Anthony, what inspired you to start Mug? Like, how did you decide to focus on casual wear?
So I started Mug in 2017-ish. When it was like a little bit after I graduated. And I went from like, it was like, I had like a kind of dark, depressive phase in my life from going from just always doing something and then like nothing. And I kind of just didn't know what to do with my life anymore. So it kind of like Mug honestly started as like a hobby for me to like get out of bed and be creative. It actually originated, like the OG Mug people will actually know, it was actually cosmetics at first. That's why it's called Mug, because like a drag queen's face is her mug.
Yeah.
And so that is originally how it started. But then I realized I made a femboy avatar and I realized that I didn't have any clothing I could wear besides like a bandeau around the chest, and that was it. And that's all we had for options. So I started making my own things and realizing that a lot of like the programs that I learned in college for interior design to do like 3D interior renderings was actually very similar to what you could do for SL. Not, of course, the same. There was some transitional things that I had to learn, but it made me want to create a store that is also, because I am like very feminine and stuff like that. And I also was like, I am not a woman, so I don't care for my avatar is more like a Barbie doll than like representing me. So my avatar's been pregnant. She's been, whatever, like all the things, like whatever. It's like, and I really wanted the femboy thing. But then I realized that a lot of people, their avatar is them. And they want to see them in their avatar. And there just wasn't a lot of items available for people that were femboys or just not on the regular like normal scale of what femininity is supposed to be or what this is supposed to be and stuff like that. Also thicker people. Like I started rigging for the S-King body years ago. That was like the only thick curvy body. Now of course it's very different. We have a lot of them now, so that's good. But so it's, that's kind of where it started, actually. I want femboys to be able to go to a store and have what every other woman has. Like they can shop at the same exact store with their best friend that is a woman, and whatever, things like that.
One of the things that I found interesting talking to designers while we've been doing these interviews is how much thought has gone into the way that they create, who they create for, and how they package their creations. And the way that they sell them. So that's always fascinating to me.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like my stuff definitely leans more on the sexier side, and like because it's again like I'm more like I love like the curvy avatar. I love like the bright colors. I love like kind of cartoony proportions and stuff like that. Like I just aesthetically love that. So a lot of my stuff will kind of also lend itself to that.
You have gone so far to think about your audience that you've really put yourself in the place of your shoppers and thought, how would I want this to be delivered? What's a little different? What's a little innovative? And what's ended up happening is it's become almost like a trademark for you.
Like I also wanted to, because I also include, especially with pants and stuff like that, I include bulges. And so it would be literally like 28 items in your inventory if it wasn't like that you'd have to go through and then color change every single one when you use your HUD and stuff like that, where instead all of the shapes get all colored at the same exact time. So if you're changing, because I know a lot of people, I am a shapeshifter. I change bodies. I'm Maitreya today, and then I'm VTech tomorrow, and I'm Reborn the next day, and I am Cupra, and I am Perky and Petite, and I do them all. So like, it's just so much. It was much easier if like, okay, now I have to like remake a new like. I have to reapply my textures that I already set to the outfit and stuff like that. Where instead now, all I have to do is click a button and it's all the same textures, all the same everything, the settings of all the item. It's just now on my new fitted body.
It's because of the body changing that I don't necessarily like using the individual unpacker HUDs. You know, like when you buy someone, it says click here to unpack Legacy.
Oh, yes.
And so I unpack all and then delete the bodies that I know 100% I'll not use.
Yeah, exactly.
And, you know, because otherwise I'm going to go, okay, unpack Legacy, Perky, unpack Reborn,
Yes.
unpack.
Yeah, it's a lot. And it's a lot just because we have a lot of bodies now, and people do, in this day and age, because there's so many bodies, people change bodies a lot more than they used to in the past. And so and like people are like, oh, I like this look or I like that look. And so like certain things they might, in a certain setting, they might want to be more curvy or they might want to be more skinny. And so it kind of was a way to keep it more organized. And of course, like I have people that don't understand it at first, and then so they yell at me and they say that I didn't rig it right and or whatever. But then and I have to let them know. I put the note card in there. I was like, just read the note card. There's a note card in there. Just read it. It'll tell you how like it works and stuff like that. It's like the same. It's a similar system to how this is now people with hair. You know, that became a thing with like. We have multiple hairstyles all in one, and I can now, with a click of a button, make it so it's all in the back or one in the front or what, you know? So, and that's kind of like how I thought about it in the sense of like, why don't we have that, but for our clothing, for bodies and stuff like that, just to make it more simplistic and streamlined.
There's like 4 new bodies coming soon. Can you tell us whether you're planning to rig for any of those?
I usually, so I used to be, it is a business now, and it is my main income. So I have to think of it more. I used to be more like, I will do every single little thing. That's why I did VTech. That's why I did SK. That's why I did all that, because I like, but now I also have to think of it as a business. And so, and my time is like very valuable now, and I need to use it properly. So I will usually tend to wait a little bit until there are, like I've gotten invites to pretty much all of the bodies that have come out so far and what are maybe going to come out. I usually wait a little bit to see, because my customers will let me know if there's a body that they want, and they'll let me know. And that's what happened with Reborn. Everybody was like, I want Reborn. When is Reborn happening? This is happening. You know, and so, and then I noticed that, like, I do listen to my customers and stuff like that. And I noticed that, and I start to see it. And I mean, I don't go a lot of places. I usually sit on my platform. So I usually have to use my other eyes of like my customers and my friends and all that, see what they're saying. Like, oh, is this becoming popular? Is this like, or this is unique, if something is like a unique, that's why I got on board with like the S King, and then when Cooper first came out, because that was something very unique to a clientele that hasn't had a lot of options in the past. Same with VTech and stuff like that. So, but it does take a lot of time to add another, like I do it all by myself, and so to then add another thing of rigging is like it adds more, it takes away something else. So I just have to make sure it's of value to it.
We've all had a little help and advice along our SL journeys. Some of it we ask for, some of it we don't. What's true? You do often get a lot of advice you didn't ask for.
Oh, yes.
What has been the best advice that you've received along the way? Probably
from, which is going to sound cliche, but it totally is, but it is true. My best friend, she's lived like 10 years. She would always tell me, like, I can get a lot of like burnout, and I can get like hard on myself and my items and all that stuff. And she would always tell me, trust yourself and your vision. And I like, it's cliche sounding and it's true, but like, yeah, it reminds me and it reminds everybody, like, the thing that separates your store from everybody else's store is you. And you did this. Trust yourself. Like, you've gone this far. Like, keep going. Like, this is how you have done it for years now at this point, and keep going. She always tells me that, and I'm like, okay. It like lets me like, all right, I'm just panicking. I'm freaking out. I need to calm down.
Yeah, trust yourself, but also like know where you are. Like literally, like you're not sitting in that place in your head. You're sitting in a room, and this is what you're doing. And like,
Yeah.
you know, like trust your instincts and stay mindful, stay present.
Yes.
So, what's a myth that you would love to bust about designing clothes in SL?
So a lot of people say you have to know somebody to be able to be successful in the store. Like you have to like, oh, you have to like, which like, not gonna lie, of course, politicking is a thing in the designing world of SL, and knowing people helps build your brand. But like, I knew not a single soul when I started this. I sat on my little work platform and just kept working, and I made it, and I did it. Like, and I figured out, because like in the end, a lot of times those are the people that just kind of got a free ride into a successful store, that they're not going to last because they don't have the passion in it. They didn't have like the, like, I literally did every little teeny tiny event that I've ever been invited to, and I've done all this little thing, and I've made 6 pennies off of this item when I first started, but like I knew that it was like going to be going somewhere. I didn't start out as like the best texturer and the best mesher, but like I had my creative brain, and and you work on yourself and you get there, and you will eventually when your items are good and you're very creative, you will get noticed eventually. I mean, it will take some time, of course. The point of not building it overnight means that I think it will have more longevity to it as well. So you don't need to know people. I don't participate in the politicking and all that stuff. I sit alone on my work platform, and I just work, and I do my thing, and I enjoy what I do. And so
I think that too, you know when you're hitting a point when you're starting to really get frustrated, you're either gonna have a breakthrough or a breakdown. So you either need a break from what you're doing so that you don't have a breakdown, or you need a break from what you're doing so that you could fully process your breakthrough.
Absolutely. And like burnout is a real thing.
For
and
real,
I have learned now that like life is not about making because I used to work really, really, really hard at this game every minute, every day, because I was like, SO might not be here forever, so let me make as much as I can possibly out of the situation that I am in. But then I burn myself out. I go crazy. I have breakdowns. I'm like, now I'm on the couch for a week straight.
Yeah.
And, so like it just like it didn't like. You need to have a good work-life balance, which is definitely hard when you're working for yourself and in your home and all in one place, and everything is all here.
So, fun question. Who would star as you in a movie about your life?
Probably, I'd have to probably say Dan Levy.
Yes!
Probably Dan Levy as David Rose would probably star me.
Oh my god, I could totally see it.
Yeah.
I don't know who this is. I've got to Google. What's the name?
Oh, you have to Google it.
Have you not watched Schitt's Creek?
Schitt's Creek?
No.
Well, you better watch it quick because they're taking it off Netflix.
Oh, my God. You need to. It is one of the funniest shows.
It is so good.
Oh, but I do recognize him now. Now I've seen it.
Oh, it's so good. You need to watch it.
It is very good. You have to watch it. And then when you see David Rose, that's most like. I mean, I'm not as spoiled, but the lunacy in there is kind of there. But also, like, he made his own business. He like ended up like, you know, like doing it on his own and
Oh
stuff
my
like
God,
that.
have you ever sang Tina Turner to a boy?
No, because if I sing, like, computers will start to shut down and
It
like
doesn't
things.
stop now.
Yeah,
Doesn't
that's
stop
true.
me.
Yeah, his ears will start to bleed.
That's just love coming out of his ears.
Yeah, yeah, that's what it is.
So, what do you hope, or what do you think that SL is going to look like in 5 years' time?
Well, first, I hope it's still around, so I'm not homeless. So that is also good. But
Yes.
I think that like I'd hope that there is a really big like trend going on right now with like virtual worlds. And I hope that like Second Life kind of grabs a hold of that and like like progresses itself instead of just stays afloat and just kind of stagnant, which it's kind of been doing for the last many years. Because like everybody's like throwing around the metaverse and this, it's like, and then people don't realize like Second Life has been doing what the metaverse wants to be doing for the last 20 years. So like I have faith in it because it's like what other game platform has given so many small business individuals ability to make a living off of it is insane, because usually the corporate companies, like, they keep everything within their own, like, the game, it's like what they sell in the game is what they sell and they make money off of it, and that is really it. To like allow others to be able to make a full business off of it is amazing. We don't want like a big corporation to come in and just take everything over. Like, people are really, because of COVID and I'm like that, they kind of open their eyes to like different ways to meet people and communicate. And I think this has been a rebirth of like virtual connection. And I just hope that SL kind of takes, like, it's hot right now. So like put some work into it, figure out a way to make it so it's more playable by new players. And it's like, and there's like a new, like, make it more streamlined and stuff like that. So like, and just in general, like, advertise it, like, and get it going, like, get it to places. Because when most people think of SL, they think of furries and sex. That's all they think of. And it's like, there's so much more to SL than just sex and furries. Like advertise those aspects of it. Advertise how people literally can meet people across the world. Like, I grew up in a very small town, and this game was the only way for me to meet other people that were of like-mindedness. It kept me going, and like, I was like, not everywhere is like where I live. Like, I can meet other people. Like, there's other people that I connect with that I do, and I think that treading water for a lot of years, and I hope that they put some, now that they see like, oh, how the metaverse is so hot and like everybody wants to be in the metaverse, like, okay, well then, like, SL's been here and it's like, let's pump it and let's get it going and get it advertised and all.
There are rumors that they're talking to an app developer about making an app version, which that would be huge. That's what made the IMVU boom.
Exactly. So, IMVU, which no T, was, I always saw kind of like a shittier version of SL because you couldn't walk around and you couldn't whatever. But it lended itself when they were so smart, when they moved over into more of like catering to the mobile community, which they actually got a large younger crowd because of it. Yeah. It's like, we are getting old now. So like, they need to cater to the people that also are the new generation, and they're all on their phones and they all want to be able to, and it can't just be only a chat thing. Like, because I know for a while SL had an app, but it was just to message people. Yeah. And it's like, we don't need that. People have WhatsApp, people have iMessage, people have that. Like, they're not going to use it. It needs to be with your character and all that stuff.
Okay, so now we're going to do a little this or that round.
So I'm going to start. Rose or Blanche?
Oh, Blanche.
Pancakes or waffles?
Waffles.
Funny or hot?
Funny.
Hug or kiss?
A hug, actually.
Apple or Android?
Apple.
Text or call?
I would normally say text, but if I know you, then it has to be a call. Like if I get lazy with texting.
Hard shell or soft shell?
Soft shell all day.
Can or bottle?
Bottle.
Memes or GIFs?
GIFs.
Cass or Dell?
Well, only just because we have trailer history. It's gonna be Dell.
That's fine. I would have been very shocked if you just chose Tess, considering how well you know Dell.
Yeah. We did. We originated in the same humble beginnings.
Yeah, in the desert.
But that actually brings us equal over the course of the season of these episodes, because I was one ahead, so we're equal now.
There you go.
All right, well, thank you so much, Anthony. I always love talking to you.
Of course. Thank you. Yes, thank you so much for inviting me to this.
It's been really good.
Great.
It's given me an
really
insight.
Fun.
Hey, thanks for listening. If you like what you're hearing, tune in for the full episodes every Friday, dropping on the SeraphimSL.com YouTube channel. See you then. Bye.